Hi, I'm Kayla, the book tutorial, and today we are going to be talking about The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So this book is a standalone fantasy novel by VE Schwab, who I really got into reading VE Schwab books last year, and they were all so good, and I finally got around to reading Addie LaRue, and it was perfect. In addition to like fantasy, it's also, you know, like magical realism, historical, there's a lot going on. So as far as what this book is about, it follows a 23-year-old girl named Addie LaRue, who goes by Addie, and it starts off with her life in France in the 1700s. And she is being forced into a marriage that she doesn't want because like she's 23, so it's like weird that she's not married at that point and like having kids. But she doesn't want that. She just wants to live her life. She wants to be free to do what she wants. So she ends up making a deal. It's kind of like this whole deal with the devil type of situation, and basically she says that she wants to be free to live. And it ends up being that she's basically immortal, and she was given like the ultimate freedom in which nobody remembers her. So she is, in a sense, free to do whatever she wants, except that, you know, it's not what she asked for, but it's kind of like be careful what you wish for kind of thing. So basically, she can talk to somebody, have a full conversation, whatever, but as soon as they lose sight of her, it's like she's wiped from their brain. They don't remember her, they don't remember anything about her, and she can't even like write stuff down because it disappears, because it's like she's not even there. This is, I don't know if that's the best description of her situation. A lot of it you really just like find out as you go along through reading it, but it's very interesting. It's very complex. So it kind of goes back and forth. We see her childhood leading up to when she makes the deal. We see different times throughout these 300 years that she's been alive and things that she's been doing, ways that she's been trying to get around this like curse essentially. And then we see present day. And pretty early on in the story, in our present day timeline, she ends up meeting someone who does remember her. And then it becomes like, how, why, etc. Can you remember me even if like you lose sight of me? And that's all I'm gonna say because spoilers, and it's honestly best to just go into this book without knowing much of anything else. But this book was so good. The characters were all amazing. Storytelling with like the back and forth worked really well. Like sometimes that doesn't always work, but it worked really well in this book. And Addie is such an interesting character because she's had to learn how to live this way, that, you know, with her situation and everything. Like she can't even have like a steady place to live because say she wanted to get an apartment and signed like a lease or whatever, as soon as the like landlord lost sight of her, none of that would have existed anymore. So it's just really complicated for her because she can't stay in one place, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, it was just really interesting to see the way that she developed and figured out how to live. And like, I don't know, it's really about like being alone in this world that's like so much bigger than you and finding a way to leave your mark on the world, especially for her when it's very difficult for her to do that. And then just like finding yourself in general. And it was so good. I laughed, I cried, I had a lot of emotions, and I definitely want to read it again eventually. I read a library book version, and before I even took the book back, I had already ordered like my own copy because I want to read it again and like put my sticky tabs in there. So yeah, it was really good. I very much recommend this book. This book ripped out my soul in the best kind of way. It was just so good. It was so beautifully written, and it was so like painful, but in a good way. I don't know. It was so good. It was so good. I could talk about this forever, but this is supposed to be a 5-minute review, so we're gonna end it there. If you have read this book, please leave a comment or message me on social media so we can talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.